What is up, everybody? Dan the Fireman here, and I'm going to do a video response to 7 dumb and most common beginner rider errors by the Yamster, the Yammie Noobs. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. I'm an MSF rider coach now. I've been doing beginner tips, and I feel like I want to share my opinions on it. First of all, I just want to say it was a good video. I really liked it. That's why I'm talking about it. It just came out today, so I want you guys to check that video out and then come back to this one. Alright guys, like I said, I am an MSF rider coach. I am somebody that talks about beginner motorcycle riding tips and all those things all the time. And I wanted to share my opinion on these things. There's a few of them on here. I think I got about 5 I was able to correlate and talk about. But great video, Yams. Great video, Yammie Noobs. And I really suggest you guys subscribe if you haven't already. He's got a lot more subscribers than me, but I think this was a good video. Alright, so first of all, he talks about stalling your bike. And I'm paying attention to the road right here. He said stalling your bike is a dumb and common beginner error. I mean, that's the title, right? Stalling your bike sucks. He does a good job of explaining a little bit of it, but he talks about in a funny way how to really work on your slow speed maneuvers, clutch control, parking lot practice. And it's true, you really do need to practice your friction zone right here. You need to practice your clutch control and all that stuff, and do some parking lot practicing. I do have parking lot practicing on my channel, so you should check that out. I'm glad that he's bringing attention to making sure you go out and practice, so that's really good. But stalling your bike, I don't think it's really a dumb error. I mean, he even mentions it that even experienced riders, they do it themselves. I still do it sometimes, especially on a newer bike when I'm getting a little excited or even fatigued, and I just let the clutch out too soon. So don't worry about thinking that it's a dumb error. It's just it's something that happens. So don't feel dumb. Don't feel dumb. But it is a common beginner rider error, and I talk about that in some of my videos. The next one is tailgating. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm about, let's see, that sign is 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I'm about 3.5 seconds away from this car, and he's talking about tailgating is a dumb and common error. Yep, I just touched the phone. Who cares? Tailgating is a dumb and common error, and I completely agree. You need to create a space cushion, have an escape path, pay attention to what you're doing. Don't be too focused on riding and just like being an idiot and being super close and like being pissed and all that. That's more of a topic later on, but tailgating is terrible. You don't have the reaction time and braking speed and distance that a car really does have. So make sure you have a space cushion, have an escape path, do a 2-second following. What I did was with that sign, there's a sign here, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, about 3.5 seconds, about 4 seconds is what I like to have. And what I did was when that car passed that sign, I started counting, and then when I passed the sign, that is the distance I have. So what you need to do is have at least a minimum 2-second following distance, a 4-second cushion, and then look about 12 seconds ahead. Alright, so not downshifting at stops. Downshifting at stops is very important, and here's why. Because when you go to a stop, let's just go ahead and stop right here, because I don't think that red light's coming up. So let's say I'm going to downshift into a stop, and this is like the intersection. Oh, hey doggo. So I'm going to downshift into a stop. So it's like, oh no, I got to stop right here. Okay, so I downshifted all the way into first gear. Now, what he was talking about in his thing is that if you downshift into like third gear or second gear, so let's put it in second gear. Let's put it in third gear. I'm in third gear right now. Let's say I'm in third gear and I forgot to downshift. Green light. Even with the perfect friction zone and perfect throttle response, being in third gear is not a good thing. And I stalled. Was that dumb? No. It's a little teaching moment. Down in first gear, friction zone, throttle control, much better. And that's why you need to downshift into first gear when you get to a light. Parking lot practice. And the reason why you need to do that is, for one, you don't stall when it turns green, and for two, when you're in first gear and some type of emergency happens behind you and you have to take off, or if something's going to hit you, you have to take off, you're already in the gear needed. So don't put it in neutral. I don't know if I think this person's turning left. Okay, good. You can tell by the tires. Cool. So definitely be in first gear. It's easier to stall when you're in third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, but it can be done. You're just gonna be chugging. It's not recommended. Cornering. We're gonna have some corners coming up here, but he talks about, and he jumps into the it's the outside, inside, outside. Now that is a typical cornering maneuver. So what he's talking about, I'm in lane position 1, this is lane position 2, lane position 3. And he's talking about outside, which is this if I'm turning left. When he goes outside, see, look at that, 3rd gear, that's why you need downshift, come to a stop. So outside, you're gonna start turning, you're going to the inside, and now you're gonna exit the outside. Now this was kind of an exaggerated thing, it wasn't that big of a turn, but that's what he's mentioning. Typically that is a pretty good response. Now what I personally recommend is middle. For a beginner, middle is gonna give you the space cushion on each side, and you're gonna have the best view for each side. It's one less thing to worry about. So when you go outside, you have a really good wide open spot, wide open view. You go to the inside, so you can, you know, reduce distance, and it's a higher level skill. And then when you go on the outside again, you're able to speed through the exit. Now, as a beginner, you really don't need to be focused on that. You need to be focused on making the turn safely. So middle will give you space cushions. Middle will also give you a good view, and you can come out of the exit at a decent speed with some roll on of the throttle. So be nice and smooth. He talked about that. Remember, there's different paths you could do. You could do outside, middle, outside, middle, outside, middle, inside. I believe there's 27 combinations of what you could do, and just pick the one that works best for you. But for a beginner, middle is probably the best. Now, if there is a piece of debris, like let's pretend there's a tar snake here, and it's like a big old crack, and I'm doing middle during this turn, I can go middle, inside, back to middle pretty easily if I have to. There's a bunch of debris right here, so I could stay in the inside, middle, outside if I really had to. There's a bunch of different things you can do, so don't stick to just one plan. But that, once again, this is a bigger video. He even mentions that it would be a whole new topic for itself. But I just wanted to clarify that and let you guys know and understand that for me personally, my opinion is middle. He does talk about entry speed, counter steering, accelerate through the turn, and I'm taking my hands off. I know you guys don't like that, but here's a topic right here. So entry speed, I'm making sure I'm doing a good entry speed. I'm in the middle, and then while I'm coming through the turn, I'm accelerating through it. So that is basically what he was talking about. But don't worry too much about that. Like I said, it's another video in and of itself. He does touch upon not braking during the turn. That is more of an advanced skill. Trail braking, it is. It's more of an advanced skill. You do not want to be braking during the turn. You should be doing your braking before the turn and getting a good entry speed. Now, if you want to learn how to do braking through the turn, if you want to learn how to do trail braking, please check out Ride Arizona MTC. We can teach you some stuff. I work for them. A little disclosure there. I'm affiliated. I could do BRC1 classes, but the advanced class is what teaches you the trail braking. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump to the next one. Acting like riding is the same as driving. Now, he was talking about on acting like riding is the same as driving. Driving, you pretty much zone out. You pretty much are super comfy, 4 walls around you. You're freaking, soundproofed. You got music, you got your phone to mess around with. You can pretty much just zone out. Sometimes you don't even know how you got home, how you got to where you need to be, because you zoned out. Now, if you act like that while you're riding, you're in for some really deep crap. It might look like what I'm doing is I'm focusing on motovlogging, but what I'm actually doing is I'm scanning my horizons. I'm constantly moving my eyes. I'm constantly thinking. And I just am able to talk about this stuff because of all the experience I have talking about beginner tips and going through the MSF Rider Coach program. So guys, I'm doing this because I can do this and I can focus on riding and not focus on what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know what I said about 10 seconds ago. But you need to zone in, not zone out while riding. You need to constantly be scanning. I talk about that, search, evaluate, execute all the time, and I talked about it in the previous video. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about when it came to Yammie Noob's video that it came out today. I think it was a great video. You guys need to check it out, his channel, if you haven't. He's starting to go more into the beginner tip videos, which I personally already said that I liked that he's doing that. It brings more exposure to newer motorcycle riders. And he's a smart dude, and I like the fact that today he kept it pretty damn safe. Like, he wasn't messing around too much. He gave that educational thing with a hint of comedy. It wasn't comedy with a hint of educational. It was really good. I really liked it. Some good stuff there, so I will support that. if other creators are doing that. That's why I'm doing a video response. I want you to go to his channel and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to click subscribe on mine, that's perfectly cool, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to do my opinion on his bullet points, his topics, his things that he did, and I think he did a great job, okay? So with that said, I hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and I'll see you guys later.